Abduction, Chapter 1, Part 1. Everything around the car was pitch black except where my vehicle's headlights lit up the snow-covered surfaces. Then off in the distance, I could see the glow of the city. I knew it had to be a city because it was the only light on the skyline after hours of driving in the darkness. The city lights were a beacon of hope in a frozen sea of black skies and white snow. I imagined a warm house by a fire and a cup of hot tea with my name written all over it if we could make it to our destination. Except I didn't know if our host had a fireplace. The fact is, I hardly knew anything about where we'd be spending the next few weeks. I knew who Echo and I'd be staying with, but I didn't know her personally. Tatiana was her name, and she was a former colleague of Echo when they worked together in Belarus. At the beginning of our drive to Lutsk, Echo was wide-eyed and attentive to our surroundings and beautiful snowy landscape of eastern Ukraine. She was also very excited and chatty about what we would do in the city once we arrived in the town. And shortly after the sun went down, she passed out in the passenger seat next to me. Echo had her legs curled up underneath her, the passenger seat reclined, and slept like a baby, safe and sound in his crib. How she slept through each bone-jarring pothole I ran over, I will never know. If it weren't for the bad road conditions, I would have joined Echo in slumber, fast asleep behind the wheel. The fact is, I didn't sleep at all on the plane ride into Ukraine, and very little during our short stay in Kiev. With the sun having gone down hours ago, I had hoped, at least according to the GPS, that would for periods not find a signal, would find ourselves 30 minutes away from the city of Lutsk. The original plan was for us to arrive at our host home about mid-afternoon. When we got lost, that plan went out the window. That left Echo trying to find cell phone service to call our host to tell her we would be late. Getting lost was not all bad news. The Ukrainian scenery was spectacular and would forever be a favorite memory of this trip. The snow-covered ground gave the view a pristine look as it covered the rolling hills to make it postcard perfect. Certainly helped chase away the sleepy sensation whenever the bumpy road did not. Unfortunately for me, it was pitch black out now, and seeing anything past the rental car's headlights was impossible. A film of dirt and snow on the lens of the headlights meant they did not illuminate the road very well. It added to an already challenging journey. One other thing in the night sky that caught my eye was a strange illumination off to the city's north. The light would occasionally flash and then show up in a different location on the horizon. I didn't want to believe the strange light were UFO caused, so I shushed my imagination and told it to be quiet. I watched the peculiar sight and the strange behavior, and it had me searching for a reason what would be causing the anomaly. Still, for the most part, the clouds hid them from my view, making it problematic to discern if they were blinking off and on purpose, or the clouds hid them as they moved on the horizon. I tried not to focus on them too much as my priority was staying on the road. This was made effortless as the odd light disappeared from view.